Alvin.
And we are
The STEM students of Grade 12 Graciousness.
Today's video, we're going to show you guys on how to solve a combination problem of a properties of the solution.
So guys, this is the problem. The antifreeze in most automobile radiators is a mixture of equal volumes of ethylene glycol and water, with minor amounts of other additives that prevent corrosion. These are the questions. What are the mole fraction and molality of ethylene glycol C2H4OH2 in a solution prepared from 2.22 times 10 raised to the power of 3 grams of ethylene glycol and 2 times 10 raised to the power of 3 grams of water?
The thing that we need to do is to write the given and required. 2.22 times 10 raised to the power of 3 grams of ethylene glycol. 2 times 10 raised to the power of 3 of water or H2O. These are the required mole fraction of ethylene glycol. Next is the molality of ethylene glycol.
Next is we need to find the mole fraction of ethylene glycol. So the formula of the mole fraction is mole fraction of solute is equals to mole solute over mole solute plus mole solvent.
But before that, we need to extract the grams of solute of ethylene glycol and the grams of solvent of H2O. So we need to move it to the right because the exponent is in positive.
Same process in H2O. Since we are done for extracting the scientific notation, we are now to convert the grams of solute into the moles of solute. 1,220 grams of ethylene glycol or C2H4OH2 times 1 mole of ethylene glycol over, but before that we should need to find the molar mass or molar weight of the ethylene glycol. So this is the process on how to find the molar mass of ethylene glycol. Ethylene glycol had composed of 2 times 12 plus 4 times 1 plus 2 times 16 plus 2 times 1. Combine like terms. And the answer is 62 gram per mole of ethylene glycol. So the molar weight of ethylene glycol is 62 gram or gram per mole of ethylene glycol.
Since we are done in finding the molecular weight of ethylene glycol, we can now put it below the 1 mole of ethylene glycol, which is the molecular weight of ethylene glycol is 62 grams of ethylene glycol. And then we now cancel the grams of ethylene glycol. And then we need to multiply the 2,220 into 1 mole of ethylene glycol and divide it in 62. So the answer is 35.81 moles of Say2H4OH2. Since we already extracted the scientific notation form in the gram solvent of H2O, so we can now convert the gram solvent to the mole solvent. So 2000 grams times 1 mole of H2O over the molecular weight of H2O. So as you can see, we didn't find the molecular weight of H2O yet. So we need to find the molar mass of H2O. To find the molecular weight of H2O is equals to 1 times 2 plus 16. So we can now get a result of 18 grams per mole of H2O. So now we can put the molecular weight of H2O, which is 18 grams of H2O. And then we now cancel the grams. And then we need to multiply 2000 into the 1 mole of H2O over 18, which results to 111.11 moles of H2O. Since we are done in extracting the grams of solute of ethylene glycol into moles of solute of ethylene glycol and the gram solvent of H2O into moles H2O, we can now solve the mole fraction of the ethylene glycol. So the molar fraction of the moles of solute is 35.81 and the mole solvent is 111.11. So we can now distribute the answers here in the formula stated. We can now solve the molar fraction of ethylene glycol, which is 35.81 over 35.81 plus 111.11 mole. And then we add those two in the denominator, which results into 146.92 moles. Then the answer for the molar fraction of ethylene glycol is 0.243. So there you have it. The molar fraction of the ethylene glycol is 0.243 mole. So guys, since we've already found the molar fraction of the ethylene glycol, so we need to find the next one, which is the molality of ethylene glycol.
To find the molality, we need to know the moles of solute and the mass of solvent. So first, use the given mass of ethylene glycol and its molar mass to find the moles of solute. Since we are already done in finding the mole solute of ethylene glycol, let's proceed in finding mass of solvent.
Since the mass of solvent is in grams, we need to convert grams into kilograms. So the given of the mass of solvent is 2000 grams times in 1 kilogram there is 1000 grams. and cancel the grams. And then we multiply 2,000 times 1 divided by 1,000. We came up with the answer of 2 kilograms of H2O. Since you've already found the kilogram solvent of H2O, which is the 2, we can now finally calculate the molality per its definition. So the moles of solute, which is 35.81 moles of ethylene glycol, over the kilogram solvent, which is 2 kilograms of H2O. Let's divide it, and we came up on a result of 17.91 moles per kilogram of ethylene glycol, or 17.91 molar. And that's it. We're already done in solving the properties of solution, which is to find the mole fraction and the molality. So guys, we're hoping that you've learned a lot from our tutorials this day. I'm Aldrin.
I'm with you, Mark.
I'm Jethro. I'm Charles. On behalf of Aldrin, we're the STEM students of Grade 2 Graciousness. Don't forget to like, share,
Comment.
and subscribe to our channel. That's all!